Hello everyone. I'm seeing a lot of people asking, is GreedFall worth it? I'm going to respond to that, and I'm going to give a little bit of information towards the end. Okay, to understand if GreedFall is worth it, you need to think about yourself first. GreedFall is as close to the original RPG formula as one could possibly get. It is story and lore heavy. This means you need to be prepared for literally up to 5 minutes of dialogue. That's actually why a lot of reviews on this game are off. It's because these people do not have the patience to go through the dialogue and stick with the game. When you get past the story and lore heavy part of this game, then you're going to have to deal with the game itself in terms of combat and things like that. This game does have a fairly heavy reliance on dodge and parry, even on lower difficulties. I would not compare this to Dark Souls in difficulty, but I will say that it's not forgiving if you don't learn to dodge or parry. I want you to kind of think about those things and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Now that we've kind of covered a little bit about GreedFall and what will make it worth it, let me go and get some information about the game, as this seems to be the biggest lie I've seen with certain streams and guides. A lot of people are saying that magic is easy mode. That is far from the truth. As a matter of fact, it's melee or ranged that is the easy mode. You see, in GreedFall, it is true that elemental damage does negate armor. Or ignore armor, I'm sorry. Yeah, it ignores armor. So, while a mage could get around armor, the problem is it takes so much of your mana to accomplish killing a person that you're literally IV feeding yourself mana potions. The weapons in this game actually do get elemental damage as part of a unique property later on. It's just how unique items work towards the later part of the game. So a weapon that has elemental damage will do a far better job than magic because it's not reliant on stamina or anything. As long as you're able to get a hit without getting hit, then that's all that you have to really worry about for that. So let's go ahead and real quickly look over some of the stuff with GreedFall in terms of starting and things like that. The profiles that you get to select from as part of your starting quote-unquote class really just helps you get started somewhere in the tree, because the skill tree is actually quite vast, as you can see from this picture. Now you'll get more skill points than you will anything else, so it's going to be possible for you to branch out and become more of a hybrid. But to get there quicker, you want to think about what your start should be. Right? So if you're going pure melee, then you would want to go warrior, because you get access to heavy and blades. In this game, there is armor on certain enemies. You have to break the armor in order to make sure that you're doing your maximum damage. The heavy weapons are going to be your hammers, axes, and things like that. They have a naturally high damage to armor and will shred it quickly. So as a warrior, because you get 2 weapon slots, you can have a blade in one slot and then a hammer in the other slot. Use the hammer to get rid of the armor and then switch to the blade. You can do that. So if that's your thing, then warrior's the way you want to go. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more of a distance, or able to kind of respond to different scenarios, then you're going to be looking at technical. Technical only starts with blades, firearms, and elemental traps. That means it's going to start on this side of the tree versus the warrior side up here. Now, this is going to be a better start for if you're trying to do a firearms main. than this here, just because of the fact that you get traps to go with it. But yeah, it's all up to you, of course. Now, it is possible to do a melee build from the magic start, so don't get that confused with technical and warrior. Because if you'll notice on the skill tree, there are certain keyholes in between each of the major branches. That means you need to be in both areas in order to unlock it. So, for example, let's scroll down to Magic Healing. Magic Healing is going to be the keyhole between the heavy thing in Warrior and the magic thing right here. So in order to get that, you have to unlock Armor Breaker and Crystallization. So Magic Healing kind of turns you into a Paladin because that's where you have to build. You have to build the Mace line as well as some of the Magic line. That's essentially what that's doing to you. So as you can see, that there are different ways to kind of branch out and do what you want. But as I said, just keep in mind that this is kind of what your start is whatever you pick here. And whatever you pick will make it easier to achieve that goal. But yeah, that's the most I have really on GreedFall. I hope that helps with your buying decision.